team, welcome to the first episode of Inside Drive, Car Guys and Car Girls. My name's Ty Hill, and today we're on the Sunshine Coast to meet Glenn MacMahon and view his eclectic car collection. Let's roll.
Morning, Ty.
Morning, Glenn. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How you going?
I'm fantastic. Yourself?
Come here to see my mini collection.
I have.
Yeah, okay.
I have.
Well, let's go inside first because I've got actually a few bikes you may like.
I'd love that, mate.
Let's
Two
go.
wheels. Let's roll.
Go. How would you like this in your lounge room?
Sit back and view this all day.
Oh, mate, this is great. This is one of 10 made for the Sydney Olympics. A lot of people didn't even know Harley-Davidson sponsored the Sydney Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really weird to think about that, but they actually gave them 150 push bikes for the officials to ride through the whole 2 weeks, or whole 4 weeks, I should say, because obviously after the 2 weeks, there's the other 2 weeks for the Paralympics to go on with.
Yeah.
And this is one of 10 bikes made by Harley-Davidson. This is actually even more special because Fraser's in Sydney, who are the Harley people in Sydney, they asked Harley for 10 police bikes, and Harley said, yep, we'll send them over. And Fraser said, no, send them to us in bits, and we're going to recreate our own Harley-Davidson police bike. So this still got all the lights, sirens, police radio, everything works, and I can legally ride this. But I don't because it's too heavy for me. It's 335 kilos.
She's a big girl.
And I'm pretty small.
Yeah. I'm with you there, mate.
No, this is just the perfect spot for it in a lounge room. And, you know, a lot of people say, what's in your lounge room? Well, got a pretty big lounge room, so that's okay.
100%. Maybe fit a few more bikes, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see.
So this is, when you're saying this was sent over in parts,
yep.
This is truly an Aussie-built Harley-Davidson police
yeah,
bike.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
you
really
don't
weird.
see that every day.
No.
1 of 10.
What 1 of 10? So this is the number 10.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So now I've warmed you up with this. How about we go and see some cars and actually a few more bikes?
I'd love that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Cool.
Come on, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's roll.
1925 Buick, which is nothing special really because they make millions of Buicks.
Nothing special.
But just look at the colours and everything else and what this guy's done. It's just,
Unbelievable.
the guy actually bought 4 Buicks and he built 3. Yeah. And,
Out of 4 cars.
Out of 4 cars.
This is the one.
Yeah, well, this is the one I liked out of them. Yeah, he's just one of these freaky sort of guys, and yeah, he just did it. Not for anything particular, he just did it.
Is this the original paint code for this car?
No.
Okay.
No, that actually came off a Matchbox toy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he went to the spray painter with his Matchbox toy. This is what I want.
Brown.
Well, it's the two-tone.
It works.
Yeah, it's great. It
reminds me of the little lollies, the caramello.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Little white stripes in the middle.
Yeah.
That's showing my age.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, on to the next one.
Beautiful.
This is a C63 AMG Mercedes. Really nothing special. They do 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds, which is really bloody quick. But this is what's called a 507 edition, which is quicker. So this does 0 to 104.1 seconds.
Wow.
And the reason I bought this is because this is the last of the V8s. So they stopped these in 2014. They started in 2008 actually, but they stopped these in 2014 with the V8s.
Yes.
And so these are actually the most sought after AMG in the world now.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So this is a 4-litre twin turbo V8?
No, it's a 6.2 litre.
6.2?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
6.2. The actually ones coming out now are a 4-point. I mean, as quick, but you know, if you're a car aficionado, whatever, V8s is the thing that you want.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, every rev head wants a V8.
Yeah.
It's not that it's great, but they still want a V8.
Yeah.
You know?
V8 if you can't afford a V12.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this will just go up and up in value. And the thing about this as well is it was the only red that came into this country.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Do you know? It's like a blood red, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's superb.
Well, what about for the 4-wheel drive aficionados?
Oh, okay. So let's go forward driving.
I'd love to.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, here we have this is a 1993 Land Rover Parenti, okay, from the Army. So they only made 500 of these. This is the FFR, which is the radio vehicle.
Okay.
So that they made about 100 of these, and as said that 400 others. The thing special about these is, being the Land Rover, is that they stuck an Isuzu engine in them, and the Isuzu truck engines are the best engines in the world. So obviously, when they're being shot at, they don't want it to break down. So
Yeah.
they stick the ISO engine in it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like all my cars, I pretty well try to keep them standard and everything else. So when I bought this, it needed a new top, it needed this and everything else. And the people who made the tops originally, who are from Sydney, I found out where they were and they still make them. Yeah, so I've got the original top and everything else. And it's such a fun vehicle to drive, seriously.
Oh.
But it's such a fun vehicle.
The kids would love it. They'd wave at you.
Absolutely love it. You know,
draw people in.
You've got the shovel and the axe and everything on the front. So if you ever get into trouble one night,
yourself out of trouble.
just undo them. So we can go from there to back to 1911.
Okay.
To a Model T.
That'd be fantastic.
A Model T. Let's do it. Okay, so Ty, have a go at that.
Love red, don't you?
1911 Model T.
Unbelievable.
Now, I actually had this built, so it's actually a brand new vehicle, if you can believe that. So there's a guy called Bob Trevan. He's in Lismore. His grandfather was the originator of Ford in Lismore.
Wow.
Then his son took over, and then his son, who is Bob Trevan, he took over. So they've owned Ford their whole lives, and his collection of stuff is incredible. He built this. This is his last car ever. So what they do, that they buy an old Model T, completely take it back to nut and bolt and everything else, and build a brand new one for me. But I mean, just look at. It's incredible, isn't
And
it?
stopping is definitely not overrated. I think with these kind of vehicles, isn't there an element with using the hand? There's like air, timing, spark. It's
All
like
that sort
the
of
old
stuff.
motorcycles.
Yep.
Fantastic.
All that sort of stuff.
Well, that's a real driver's car, isn't it?
Yeah. So we can go from here to 1937.
I would love that.
Okay, here we go. Now, get on to the 1937 Austin Roadster, which I'd say you've never heard of because there's only 15 of these ever built in the world. There's a guy in Sydney who's got one, which is black and green, so they may be the only two left. How this came about, no one really knows. They're saying that back in the day that the Holden brothers, that they built for Austin and Morris and everything else from England, and they would send all the things over and everything else and the parts, and yes, they built at this. Anyway, all of a sudden, these guys just built 15 of these and no one knows why, whatever reason. The guy that built this is a guy, name is Noel Bensley, and he's from out near Wagga in New South Wales. He builds a car or a bike every year. He's just a retired person and he just does it, and it's built from scratch, and then he sells it. He's actually known this car from day one because it came from a farm out there. And how it actually originated was that the farmer bought his son, who was getting married, and he bought them this car, but apparently never really used it and stuck it in a barn and everything else. So Noel Bensley, who built this, he pretty well knew this car its whole life. And the only thing he did different, it was all black. The only thing he did different was change the black to the red, which I like because I hate black cars. I really hate them. And it just looked good, and it's the period red and everything else. And so again, it's almost a brand new car. I'll show you another one.
Well,
yep, I've got more.
Let's go.
Okay, Ty, here's a few toys in here as well. The first one's a 2013 MP4 12C McLaren. So, you know, you're talking, 11 years old. Wow. I mean, this is art, isn't it? Oh. I mean, it's just incredible.
This is exactly what we're here for.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like this.
But, you know, let's look at Ferraris and Lambos, which are all great. I love them. But this 2013, this does 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. Wow. Only the latest model 2005 Ferrari will beat it.
Wow.
You know, even an Aventador is actually the same speed as this. Wow. But this is just so ahead of its time. Yeah, and there was only 3,400 of these made in the world. There's only 18 of these hard and soft tops in Australia. All carbon fibre, so unbelievably light.
Yep.
Yeah, and just save them so much money in the build. To have a carbon fibre shell and a body save them something like 4,000 hours in a build.
And strength as well.
Oh, and the strength is just amazing. It's just amazing.
Well, that's an equation I can get behind, which is lightweight and twin turbo V8.
Yeah. Well, this actually is a 3.8 twin turbo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just an incredible car to drive. Okay, so we'll go from this to right behind me. Another Harley.
Unbelievable.
This is These were made for firemen only in America. The contract was with Harley. They would only sell some of the firemen. If firemen didn't want them after a year or two, they had to sell them back to Harley, and only another fireman could buy them. The reason for that, these were made after the 9/11. So on the tank here, we've got the 343 names. Sorry, it's a bit weird for me, this, but they were the people who went up in the Twin Towers and died for the world.
What a touching tribute.
Yeah,
for,
just amazing.
For hard-working men that have lost their lives in the name of saving others.
Yeah. But it's got like fireman's badges on the side here and everything else. How I got this is a little bit weird because I don't think this should even be in Australia, this bike, but a guy was selling it down in Melbourne, and he bought off this bloke who had a car yard, and he passed away, and he just gave this bike to him. The guy had no idea what he had actually, but just an incredible bike. Yeah.
Well, by the level of passion that you've shown in that description, it sounds like it's in the right hands.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we'll go to another car.
100%, let's go.
Obviously, Porsche is so well known, so well known. Ferdinand Porsche, he actually ended up going to prison after the war. Okay. Because the Americans said you collaborated with Hitler. And he didn't, but yeah. But anyway, he went to prison, and when he was in prison, his son was into the cars and everything else, and his son grabbed the old Volkswagen Beetle, and he cut it down. And that was the original Porsche. His son wanted a sports car, and his dad came out of prison, and he's going, "What are you doing, son?" You know, and he said, "Dad, this is what I want, a sports car." And so that's how the Porsche started off.
That's taking it back to sort of like the 356s.
Them, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful car.
It's exactly
but
amazing.
I mean, I guess this is a bedroom wall poster for every boy. I had one of these, and I had a Lamborghini Countach SP5000. Blue Metalazzo, absolutely beautiful. Lamborghinis, Porsches, and who doesn't love a 911?
Oh, no. From 1994 to 1996 was this one here, which is the 993. So what's special about these were the least amount of model ever made, because this was an interim model before Porsche went from air-cooled to water-cooled, because Porsche were always air-cooled.
So this is still an air-cooled vehicle?
This is the last of them. So again, these are the most sought-after Porsches in the world.
Wow.
Because it's the last of what a true Porsche fanatic goes, is air-cooled. That's what I want.
And added with that level of rarity, the top goes down, price goes up.
Of course, yeah. And this is a 6-speed Carrera. It's the only yellow that came into this country. In fact, in the 2 years or 3 years that these were made, we only ever got 196 of these in the country alone, hard top, soft top, nothing else. Yeah.
Mate, you've got an absolutely amazing collection here. Thank you so much for showing us through your personal place. And should we go for a drive?
Yeah, let's do it, mate.
100%.
Let's do it.
Thanks so much.
Cool, mate.
Being that we've seen your collection, where did it all start? What was the first vehicle that you can ever remember that made your heart skip a beat and get you into this?
It was watching Magnum PI 30 years ago, had a 328 Ferrari.
Classic.
But
and the Tom Selleck mow and the short shorts.
But always loved a Porsche though as well. But the 328 Ferrari, I had a chance to buy one years and years ago. They were 128,000 something or other, and I didn't. But look, I mean that again. That a lot of those old cars, they're not a great car anyway, but they look good, and So I would still buy one, I reckon. Although what I'd probably buy instead is a 348 Ferrari. That's they made very few of them, and that was like my Porsche. It was like an interim Ferrari before they went to the 355. And so the 348 has all these lines down the side and everything else. Be a shit of a thing to bloody keep clean, like everything, But oh my God, it's a great little car. Well, I think it's a great little car.
I'm with you on that, and it's a lot of the older models that look the best.
Yep.
I think 80s sports cars. I mean, you're going to have those fins on the Porsche 959 as well.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
yeah.
reminiscent of the same era.
Yeah.
But what you're speaking about is the 348. That's the same era as the Testarossa. That would have been the...
This came after the Testarossa, so those sides I'm talking about is from the Testarossa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic vehicle. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's the older models, the older looking models that are always the best, am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
See, the thing I've noticed even now about the McLaren that we're in right now, the MP412C, is the lightweight, the rumble of the engine, how solid you feel in the seats.
Yeah.
But when you're hitting the brakes coming up to that T intersection, you can really feel them bite.
Yeah.
So they've got some stopping power in this thing as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's...
Do you know if they're an early carbon ceramic style brake at all? Or?
I don't really know that.
I don't know?
No.
I'll have to look into that myself. Maybe some of the people at home can tell us. These machines that you've got in this collection, they're stories, they're rolling art, they're pieces of your identity. But it's not necessarily them that we're here to speak about anymore. We've filmed that part. What we're here to speak about today is you. So, Glenn, tell us, how did you develop the inside drive to become who you needed to become to afford this dream?
Look, I guess growing up as a kid, always loved a Porsche. Porsche was just the thing to get. And so that was always going to be a car for me. But, and again, growing up, I was watching the Magnum PI series and he had the Ferrari 328 and wow, was that a car? I thought, no, that's going to be the one, but it never did. I would always like to buy one, but it wasn't for me at the time, and I did end up getting a Porsche. My first one was a 79 911 Targa, which was just an awesome car. Wow. And then I went from that to the one you saw today, the yellow 993 Porsche. And then I just, then I went down this track of, I liked old cars, really old cars, you know. So it took me a year to buy an old car because when I looked into it, so many of them had become hot rods.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, I'll go the hot rod. But then I thought, no, the hot rod is still the old looking car, but it's been, you know, souped up into a big V8, this and that, whatever. And I thought, no, I really want the original old car.
Yes.
So then I ended up buying a 1925 Buick. Which was, and I've had that for, I reckon for about 10 years, and just had so much fun out of it, you know, and showing it to people, it's just a dream, you know. Kids just love it, older people love it, and it's just, you just drive it wherever. I said to you, I call my cars and bikes coffee shop cars and bikes because I do drive them to coffee shops on purpose, plant them there and let people come out and have a look at them, and it's just a pleasure to do that.
Touching on the cars and then yourself, you mentioned yourself as a young man and you leaning towards Porsches, and also the young people that are around your cars, and you love showing them and sharing them. What piece of advice would you have for young people out there that are looking to develop themselves as people? Maybe a child out there that's, you know, enjoying supercars or events with their parents and would love to be an owner or a driver one day.
Look, I guess growing up, you always want the Porsche, the Ferrari, the Lambo. I mean, that's just the dream, you know. And it's a great dream to have, and it's like having a goal that's there, but you can't come out of school and go from there to there, you know, like a lot of kids want to. Well, it just doesn't happen, you know. So a car, to me, is a secondary. The first of all in life is a business. Whether you want to buy a business, then into real estate, whatever. Once you got that career going, then you can buy the secondary thing of, well, I think I deserve a car now because I've come here, I deserve a car. I'm going to get to there, I deserve a car for that. I'm going to get to there, I deserve a car for that. And so that's how I treat it. I mean, there'd be very few people in this world who own 100 cars because they just bought cars their whole life. I mean, you just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have something behind you to buy those cars. Yep. That you really do. So yeah, I mean, it's always a dream to have a beautiful car, like a beautiful house, or like a beautiful anything. But you have to make the money to get there.
Yeah. So a business is a vehicle to the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then, so in business and in life, are there any pivotal or positive influences from people around you, or they could be people that are in business that you look up to?
Yep.
Are there any solid pieces of advice that you've
Yep. Read books.
Yeah.
Read books, learn and listen. Always affiliate yourself with someone who has done better than you. That's not they're better than you, they've done better than you.
Yes.
We're all born equal.
Yes.
And a brain is a muscle.
Yep.
You know, you've got some muscles because you've been to the gym.
I try.
Yeah. Okay, and that's good. That's good. So you have to develop your brain as a muscle. We're all born the same.
Yes.
You know, no one's smarter than anybody else. They've taught themselves to be better in that field.
Yes.
You know, so you get books and you read them and you learn and you listen, you talk to people, as I said, who have done better than you in that field and everything else.
Yes.
And then you just start to get a grasp of things. You really do. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Most recently for me, it's been stepping away from what you would believe to be the norm and into elements of life that are more creative and stepping into your creative side, which is why I'm sitting here in front of you today. I want to be creative. I want to meet people. I want to create content and art and create a network. So speaking about being creative, you're an actor, commentator. So you studied the art of acting for a while, you told me?
Yeah, for three years at the Ensemble Theatre. It's a 3-year course. That's down in Sydney. You've got the Ensemble and NIDA. They're both 3-year courses. Okay. And look, I believe that I believe they should put an acting course in every single school in the world. It will bring you out as a better person.
Okay.
It really teaches you a lot about you.
So how would you say it teaches you a lot more about you? Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, look, it's you just learn about yourself, and you actually learn how to adapt yourself to other people very, very quickly, and everything else. That the body language comes into it, and everything else. It really makes you aware of lots and lots of things.
So be more of like a chameleon in social situations. You can change and ebb and flow to suit the room, rather than being stagnant and single and putting people off. I've had experience with that in the past, and that's something that as I've gotten older, I've learned to use as well. I don't have any as much acting experience as what yourself does, but or any at all. But so it's more theatrical, more theatre side of things?
No, you learn the whole lot. Theatre, TV, film, the whole lot.
Okay.
And it is all fairly similar. You can say on the theatre sometimes you've got to bring your gestures out a bit more than what you do on camera or whatever. But a good director will show you all that as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. And then the relationships that you've created along the way.
Yep.
How would you say that they've shaped your direction or your future to being this person that's able to live your dream?
My relationships to do with business-wise or to do with just life in general would come from my mum and dad.
Okay.
Yeah. They just were very respectful people. Just knew the right thing to do the whole time. You know, they were just really, really good people, and hence me. And here we are. And here we are. And I've passed that on to my kids as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and my 2 kids are just incredible. They've just been brought up to be really respectful human beings, and you treat people with respect.
Yes.
And it comes back to you.
Yes. Respect and civility cost nothing.
No,
So
absolutely nothing.
In saying that, do you think that there's a certain philosophy or mindset that your parents instilled in you from a young age, or it was just by being around them?
Look, I guess what particularly out of my father, he was a dental surgeon, but he was very much into real estate as well. And like a lot of people, even himself, he had a great business, but he really never loved it. Through myself, through the acting, of course, and through my father, I've got into a lot of businesses myself. So I'm someone who gets bored pretty quickly, but I can walk into any business at all and know whether that's going or it's not going. And I just have that knack for it. So I then bought rundown businesses. I'd do them up for 2 or 3 years. I'd be really in tune to doing them. I was up there doing it, but after 3 years, I'd be like, I've gone from there, I brought it up to there, but someone else has to take it up to there. That's not going to be me because I'm bored. And in business, if you're bored or whatever, get out of it.
100%.
Get out of it completely, because there's only one way that life and business same. If you're going along like that in life, whether you're married or whatever, it's going to go some way. Normally goes down.
Yep.
Okay. You've got to keep it going up. You know, married life, business life, or whatever. You've got to keep that thing going for you the whole time. You really do. And if you don't, you have to notice that. So back to business, I would know, I would take this business and I would get it thriving up to there, but not me anymore, sell it. And I did. And I did that 12 times, 11 times successfully.
Wow.
One time I lost everything. One time I had 3 homes, 4 factories and lost the whole lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was 12, 13, 14 years ago, and I came back and I've got more homes and more factories and everything else now than what I ever had. Yeah.
I love that, and I think that's a pivotal part of a lot of people's success stories.
Yeah.
Is their ability to be resilient, and although they've lost everything, to be able to regather, start again. It's the comeback story.
And it's not hard to do. I mean, you know, you go down the dumps. Wow. Am I going to keep down the dumps when you've got a family and everything else?
No,
Well,
no.
Do I want my kids to see me like that? No.
No.
So you just get back up and get back into it. And I found that another business, and I was straight back into it. In fact, that business I found, that was a business called Amazing Clean Curtains and Blinds, and that was a franchise.
Wow.
Which I would never buy into a franchise. Okay, but I did like this. And so I got into it and I developed curtain cleaning in it, which they didn't do. So then the franchisor offered me to go in as a partner, which again you should never do, but I did. And it did sort of end up backfiring. I actually ended up buying him out. But after 5 years, I ended up with 70 franchisees in Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah.
And built that up.
Built up, got bored, sold it.
Yeah. So that's your model, is build to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, if you really like it, it's great. And some I did like more than others, but yeah. But you know, along the way of doing that, you don't always have your eggs in the same basket. So although I had a great business, always had a good business, I would use the money from that to buy real estate. And I would build that up along the way. So eventually I would work out, when I come up to there, when I want to retire, I've got all these properties that are giving me a wage now. And I can retire off that. But as I said, along the way as well, you've got to have those little snippets of what's in this for me as well. So I'll buy a Porsche, I'll buy a Buick, I'll buy a McLaren, I'll buy a bike, I'll buy this, you know, or that, as long as that you can afford them all.
You did mention an equation before while we were driving of how many properties to vehicles that you would promised yourself. Can you tell us about that? So
if I bought two properties, I'd buy myself a car or a bike. And that's what I always did.
So every 2 properties you get a vehicle. All right. Okay. So we'll make sure that's relayed in the in the footage today for people out there. It's still probably a solid equation in this day and age. So being a person that's come from great stock, great family, hardworking, gotten into a creative industry that you loved, gained everything, lost it, come back. Can you share with us a moment in your life that you were inherently grateful for, like looking back now, like a singular moment where things had turned around?
My wife. Yep. And as I told you, she passed away, but yeah.
You were telling us a little bit more about that.
Yep. So she passed away 3 years ago, but she was just so behind me in everything.
That was your person. You told me she was your person.
Yeah.
Strong believers in that as solid and strong men. Which the world needs more of now. We need the support of solid and loving, strong women behind us. And I think that's something that I've leaned into and heard a lot more about and learned a lot more about in this day and age, which is the main predicator to a man's success apparently is the woman he marries and the one that he's got behind him. So you could also attribute your lost and loving wife to that, your success.
And just the trust that we had between each other was just incredible. And I've always been someone to just to come up with not so much jokes, but kid around the whole time and everything else. So quite often she didn't realise if I was joking or not. And I would be on the net at night time buying a car, whatever. And I'd always be honest with her. I'd say next day that I bought a car. Oh yeah, sure. I said, I bought this old 1937 Austin Roadster. Oh, of course you did, I said, yeah, I did, Anyway, a couple of days' time, a big truck would roll up and this Austin Roadster would come off into our house. She'd be going, what the hell? I said, I told you. I thought you were joking. That's not my fault. I'm telling you the truth. If you think I'm joking, that's not my fault. And so that happens so many times. So it got to a stage where she said, as long as something doesn't walk in here, that's okay.
It's exactly right. Now, I'm speaking about the relationships that you've had and, you've had children with this person and me being a father myself. Have you got any advice for other fathers out there that are raising their children and getting involved with the car scene?
The first bit of advice I would give any new parents, which is what my parents gave me, is that your kids fit into your life. You don't fit into their life. Okay? I mean, I see a lot of parents who just fit into their kids' life. We used to introduce our kids to everything, to surf life saving, to football, to tennis, to ballet, whatever. And our only prerequisite was, if we pay for this term, you do the whole term, you do not quit. Our kids never quit anything. It cost us a fortune. They kept on doing everything for bloody years and years and years. But look, that they fitted into our lifestyle. I mean, we snow ski around the world, that they started skiing. So that they fitted into our life. And so that's the advice I would give to new parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
And big kids now?
Yeah. They're both in their 30s, just turned 30. My daughter's got 3 kids. My son's got 1.5 because one is on the way. So.
Fantastic! Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I have all of this in later life to look forward to, but I'm interested in gaining advice from experienced fathers like yourself. And that's resonated with me because I've got 2 little girls, and in this day and age, I end up standing in Sunshine Plaza sometimes and don't know how I got there. I think I'm fitting into their life and they're running me ragged, but it's absolutely beautiful. I think being a father is a blessing. It's
and look, kids look up their parents like you wouldn't believe. They really do. My both my kids, like me, have got lots of property. My son bought his first one at 17.
Wow.
All on him, nothing to do with me. He came up to me one day and he said, that his friend Marcel has got a jet ski. and I want to buy one. And I said, okay, well, how much that cost him? He said, oh, 8,000. I said, okay, well, you have to save up the 8,000. Not really thinking too much of it. Within 6 months, he'd saved up that 8 grand. And when it came to that, I said to my wife, you know, because we got, as I said, another child as well, I said, you know, I'd really like a jet ski. She said, would you like? She said, yeah, there'd be so much fun. So I said, okay, how about we buy it and he keeps his money? So I said, okay, Shane, you've got your money, let's go out looking. So I let him go out look, and I was out there advising him, sort of thing. And so when it came down to it, I said, Shane, we're going to buy this as a family. He said, oh, no, this is going to be mine. I said, no, you can use it whenever you like. Take out your friends on it, whatever, but we want to use it as well. So your mother and I are going to buy this as a family thing. He said, oh, that's fantastic, that's fantastic. And I said, how hard was that for you to save up the 8 grand? He said, not really that difficult. I said, you're $12,000 off on putting a deposit on a unit. This when the units were about 220,000. He saved that next 12 within the next 6 months, and he bought his first unit. Wow. And he's got 6 now. And my daughter said did the same thing. Yeah.
I wish I'd had the same resolve as a young man, especially the way property prices have gone now.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm hearing in your story there, and you tell me if this is true or if I'm wrong, but I see my daughters watching me, stepping into being more creative in my life, as I mentioned before. So we've got a video up on YouTube from Supercar Sunday already. Yeah. So they're watching Daddy on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm writing books and working hard as an electrician.
Yeah.
So they see me, so it's the monkey see, monkey do. And I believe from what you're telling me in that story, your son would have seen you and how hard you worked and building businesses. And so it's important to spend time with your children and have your children around you. You don't think that they are, but they're watching. The time you spend with them and what you do yourself is directly proportionate to the humans that they're going to be as they grow up.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. I covered a lot today.
Yep.
And I just want to thank you again for having us at your residence and coming back to Rick's Garage. And we hope to see you again. Yeah. Maybe when you get another car.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks very much, Glenn.
Thanks, Ty. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we want to say thanks to the people here at Rick's Garage in Palmwoods for letting us film here today. It's been an honour. Don't forget to come down here, grab some cold beers, some burgers, bring your friends, bring your cars. That's what we're all about. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe bell on the way out and check out the video up here. Peace.